You'll hear Trump say the most common sense things about Biden's failed policies. His wind turbines are killing whales. His open borders letting in mental patients. The shower pressure regulations make you have a bad hair day. This week, Trump said Democrats are going to start putting electric batteries, not just in cars, but in boats. And if you know anything about how heavy these batteries are, that boat's going down.
So there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards. Or here, do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking? Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted?
You hear that and you laugh, but it makes sense. The media hears it and calls him senile.
Welcome back to What Was That? I'm Gabe Sanchez. Look, we need to address Donald Trump's mental state and cognitive decline because it has gotten really bad. I mean, have you seen the convicted felon lately? He's literally foaming at the mouth like a rabid dog.
And we will take back our country on November 5th, 2024. On November 5th, 2024. 2024.
I can't tell if Trump is turning into Cujo, but I can just imagine Kristi Noem off in the wings ready to take him out back like Old Yeller. Trump's mental state has gotten so bad that he is once again praising the fictional cannibal serial killer Hannibal Lecter.
The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner.
And this time, it was during his visit with White House Republicans at the Capitol.
I will note from our Melanie Zanona, who was in the room and sending some of these tidbits out, apparently the former president made reference to Hannibal Lecter and said, nice guy, quote, he even had a friend over for dinner. So we've seen Trump out on the campaign trail praising Hannibal Lecter. Apparently he did it again this morning. Not sure we fully understand the context of that.
I don't know. Maybe Hannibal Lecter's on Trump's VP shortlist and we just don't know it yet. But this is who Republicans want as their candidate, the guy who fantasizes about a fictional serial killer and then also makes up words like this.
War on the workers of America, especially African Americans and Hispanic and American.
Hispanic? What is... Wait, does that mean I'm a Hispanican?
And by the way, just in case you're wondering, I got no teleprompters and I haven't from the beginning. These people... That probably means we'll make a better speech. No, I got no teleprompter. You know, I pay all this money to teleprompter people, and I'd say 20% of the time they don't work. They don't work. The thing's waving around. They can't tie it a little bit tighter. I'm trying to look at... So we're all in this together, everybody. We're all in this together.
You know, for a guy who claims that he doesn't need a teleprompter and then tries to attack President Biden for using a teleprompter, he relies on a teleprompter a lot.
These teleprompters are just gonzo, folks. They're gonzo.
Trump blaming the teleprompter for his mistakes reminds me of his July 4th speech where he said that the Continental Army took over the airports from the British during the Revolutionary War in the 1770s.
Our army manned the airports. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do. And at Fort McHenry, under the rocket's red glare, it had nothing but victory. And I guess the rain knocked out the teleprompter. So, but no, it's not that. I knew the speech very well, so I was able to do it without a teleprompter. But the teleprompter did go out. And it was actually hard to look at anyway because it was rain all over it.
In case you didn't know, airplanes were not used in warfare until the 20th century, which is 2 centuries after what Trump said. Either Trump is Ron Burgundy when it comes to the teleprompter,
damn it, who typed a question mark on the teleprompter?
Or his cognitive function has continued to get worse. I would say the latter based on what Trump said in Las Vegas.
And it must be because of MIT, my relationship to MIT. Very smart.
Relationship with MIT? No. Trump's uncle was a professor there and retired over half a century ago. But leave it to Trump to take credit for something that his uncle did in the 40s before he was ever born and then claim that he himself is very smart.
He goes, I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of sharks.
What the hell is he talking about?
He's talking about boats and sharks to a crowd in the middle of the desert. Wow. Trump really knows how to play to his audience.
So there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards. Or here, do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking? Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, you know, nobody's ever asked me that question. I said, I think it's a good question.
And guess what? This is not even the first time that Trump has talked about this bizarre hypothetical scenario. Here's Trump last year in Iowa, you know, another place known for their sharks.
But if I'm sitting down and that boat's going down and I'm on top of a battery and the water starts flooding in, I'm getting concerned. But then I look 10 yards to my left and there's a shark over there. So I have a choice of electrocution or shark. You know what I'm going to take? Electrocution.
The word of the day is electrocution. If you ever needed a sign of why you should take care of your mind and your body, it's definitely Donald Trump. And if you want to live a healthier lifestyle, make sure to check out today's sponsor, Field of Greens. A small regret is slouching in the dentist chair thinking, I should have brushed and flossed better. A big health regret is listening to your doctor and thinking, I should have paid attention to nutrition when I was younger. Better health today and when it matters most is why I take Field of Greens. Field of Greens is unlike any fruit and vegetable or green product. Field of Greens isn't watered down extracts. Field of Greens is an organic superfood. Each fruit and vegetable was selected by doctors to support vital body functions like heart, liver, kidneys, metabolism, and immune system. And only Field of Greens is backed by a better health promise. At your next checkup, your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back. Don't look back and say, I should have paid attention to nutrition when I was younger. Field of Greens is a key to better health today and when it matters most. Let's get you started with 15% off and free shipping. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code GABE. That's promo code GABE at fieldofgreens.com. But seriously, Donald Trump seems to have a phobia with sharks.
I'm not a big fan of sharks either. I don't know how many votes am I going to lose. I have people calling me up, sir, do we have a fund to save the shark? It's called Save the Shark. I say, no, thank you. I have other things I can contribute to.
But if we remember, Trump has always had a weird obsession with sharks. Like that one time in 2007 when he invited Stormy Daniels to meet with her privately at his bungalow at the Beverly Hills Hotel in Los Angeles to discuss a development regarding her possible appearance on Celebrity Apprentice. In an interview on 60 Minutes with Anderson Cooper, Stormy Daniels said, I remember arriving and he was watching Shark Week. He made me sit and watch an entire documentary about shark attacks. Now, if you're confused by Trump's Vegas rally shark gibberish, don't worry. So are his supporters. Just look at the people behind Trump. He's confused, she's also confused, and he's definitely confused. And everyone else is just smiling thinking, oh, that's just Trump telling it like it is.
You sure about that?
Because to me, that sounds like the deranged ramblings of a man whose mind is broken. At this point, Donald Trump has jumped the shark. The more he speaks, the more confused I get. All right, you know what? How about we try this? Let's put Trump's shark speech into ChatGPT and see what it says. The passage you provided appears to be a disjointed and rambling monologue with topics jumping from one to another without clear connections or logical flow. Then it points to possible reasons like cognitive impairment, mental health issues, substance abuse, stress or fatigue, and personality or communication style. To accurately diagnose the underlying cause of such speech patterns, a comprehensive assessment by a medical professional, including a detailed medical history, cognitive testing, and possibly neuroimaging would be necessary. Funny that ChatGPT should mention cognitive testing.
No, you know, I had a second test. I aced it. I aced both of them. Not easy to ace.
Donald Trump has talked about taking his cognitive test so much on the campaign trail that you would think it was one of his campaign policies.
I got to take it because I got to shut it up, and I took it, and I aced it. I think it was 30 questions. And let me tell you, you know, they always show you the first one, like a giraffe, a tiger, or this, or that, a whale. Which one is the whale? Because cognitively, you know, I don't know if you saw, but a few months ago, I took a cognitive test. My doctor gave me. I said, give me a cognitive test just so we can, you know, because you know what the standards were. And I aced it. Ronnie, I said, well, is it hard? He said, yeah, it's hard. The last 3 quarters are pretty hard, right? The first question's easy. I said, well, let's do it, Ronnie. Let's do it. Did I ace it? I aced it. He said I aced it.
Trump is so obsessed that he's been talking about this since 2020.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Trump acts like the MOCA exam is how people get accepted into Mensa. The MOCA test that Trump took does not measure intelligence like he claims, nor is it difficult. It detects cognitive impairment. Trump really needs to give it up already because it's getting
pathetic.
It's so pathetic.
Donald Trump's gibberish rant about batteries, boats, and sharks reminds me of the time that he talked about Gettysburg. And to break it down, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
The statement of Robert E. Lee, who's no longer in favor. Did you ever notice that? No longer in favor? Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill. They were fighting uphill. He said, wow, that was a big mistake.
I don't know if it's aphasia or neurosyphilis, but there is definitely something wrong with Donald Trump. And look, no one is denying that either candidate is old, but the choice should be pretty easy when it comes to deciding who should be our president. You can either vote for the wannabe dictator / convicted felon who not only sexually assaults women, but also wants to strip away their rights, or you can vote for the guy who has grown our economy, invested in our infrastructure, fights for our rights, and supports democracy. Personally, I'm gonna vote for the second guy, President Joe Biden. Well, that's all for me today. Thanks so much for watching, and feel free to follow me at I Am Gabe Sanchez. What Was That is made possible by viewers like you. And if you'd like to support the show and help us grow, you can contribute to my personal Patreon at patreon.com/IamGabeSanchez. Thank you for your support. So until next episode, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?